your credit so you can live the life that you truly deserve. We're going to talk today about the differences between debt consolidation, debt relief, and credit repair, the advantages and disadvantages of each. So let's start with debt consolidation. Because quite often we get people, we hear people say, hey, would it be a good idea for me to get a debt consolidation and consolidate all my credit card debt into a lower payment? And what I really want to reiterate about that particular situation is, if you have bad credit, you are not getting a debt consolidation loan. Okay, just throw that out the window. That's just a bait and switch to try to get you to take out some kind of a loan. And the reason for that is like there aren't banks out there that are just dying to loan money to people with bad credit. If you've got 5 credit cards and each one has $2,000 or $3,000 on it, so let's say you have $12,000 in credit card debt. You've been making the minimum payments for the last 2 years. They have high interest rates, 19%. And so you're like, I got to do something about this to stop the bleeding here. Because when you're making the minimum payments, as you know, you're not paying them down really. And so you think, I'm going to go get a consolidation loan. If you don't have some kind of an asset like a house to use as collateral to get that kind of a loan, you're not going to get that kind of a loan. Debt consolidation loans, unless you have good credit and some kind of an asset to use as collateral, are a myth. Okay, there are banks out there that are just going, hey, we just want to loan money to people with bad credit. It just does not work that way. If you own a home and you say you've got $50,000 in equity in it, and you've got that $12,000 in credit card debt that you're paying 19% interest on, would it be a good idea to get a consolidation loan and use your house as equity? Yeah, it would be, because you could save a lot of money in interest. So in that case, that's not a bad idea. But even then, part of the key to that success of that is if you get that consolidation loan, you're going to put up your house as equity. Typically, they call this a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. If you're going to do that and you pay off those credit cards, the key is you don't use those credit cards again. Okay, because I know the scenario is you get that loan, you pay off those credit cards, you stay pretty good for 5 or 6 months, and the next thing you know, you start using those credit cards again, and then you end up in double the amount of debt, which just obviously does not help you. So if you are in that position to get a consolidation loan, make sure you get it and use it wisely. Another thing about that would be, if you get a loan like that and you pay off those credit cards, do not close the accounts. I know that the temptation is, I finally paid off this credit card, I just never want to hear from these people again. And when you close the accounts, you're hurting yourself. Number one, you're hurting yourself with the amount of available credit that you have, but you're also reducing your age of accounts, because if you've had those credit cards for 7 or 8 or 9 years and you close them all and you've got this brand new loan from the bank, drastically reducing the overall age of your accounts, which counts towards your credit score. Age of the accounts counts towards your credit score. So if you did do something like that, don't close those accounts. Just don't use them again. Okay, take those cards and cut them up. Don't close the accounts, but don't use them either. So what's the next thing? Debt relief. Okay, debt relief has nothing to do with debt consolidation. They are not the same. They are not the same. So what is a debt relief program? Debt relief program, I'm not going to tell you debt relief programs don't work. There are some circumstances where debt programs do work. But a debt relief program, essentially what you are doing is, when you sign up with a debt relief program, you sign a contract with this company, and you start making payments to them. So let's talk about I'm going to just use those same 5 credit cards that we talked about with debt consolidation. You sign a contract with them. You stop making payments on your credit cards and you start making 1 monthly payment to the debt relief company. What the debt relief company is doing is they're taking your money and they're building up an escrow account. They begin communicating with your credit cards. They tell them we are not making any more payments. The payments are not coming. I can tell you the first month that you missed the payment on all 5 of those credit cards, your credit score is going down 150 points. And the second month, it's going down 50 more points for a total of 200 points. I can tell you the debt relief program just absolutely kills your credit score. It destroys your credit score. I mean, you're going to the 400s rapidly because you're not making the payments. You're making a payment to a debt relief company. And the debt relief company, what they do is they, after about 6 months, they have some escrow built up. They are negotiating with the credit cards to let you pay them off for a lesser amount than is owed. And so can you save, like if you had that $12,000 in credit card debt, could you possibly get out of that debt for $6,000? Yes, you could. All kinds of problems with this situation. What I tell people, if you have open active debt like those credit cards, debt relief could possibly be an option for you to get out of the debt. Your credit score is going to suffer for a minimum of 2 years, probably longer. I mean, suffer bad, like in the 400s. The other thing about debt relief is if you have collections, let's say you have credit cards that have already been charged off and they are now in collections, or you have medical collections, or you have a collection from Verizon or Bright House or whoever. This is really where debt relief really rips you off, is because if you include those collection accounts in with your debt relief program, what happens with collections is when they get paid off, whether they're paid off for the full amount or a 50% amount, they stay on your credit report. A paid collection stays on your credit report for a full 7 years. And under a Vantage scoring model, a paid collection gives you about 2 points towards your score. In the FICO model, it gives you 0 points to your score. I have to have a whole other video about why you should not pay collections. At any rate, debt relief is probably going to be a 2 or 3 year process. Are they going to reduce the amount of debt that you have? Yes, they are. Is it going to be painful? Yes, it is. It's going to kill your credit score. But eventually, you're paying them, they're paying your credit cards, they're negotiating with your credit cards, and that debt will get reduced and get paid off down to 0. Credit is screwed, but your debt has gone down to 0. And debt relief companies don't always negotiate every account. There are times where you'll have an account that they have negotiated, and the credit card company, let's just say it's Discover, they just refuse to budge. And you're paying all this money to the debt relief company and you still owe all that money to that credit card. There was really no guarantees with them. Okay, so we talked about debt consolidation and debt relief. Credit repair is different than both of those. Credit repair is specifically designed to get derogatory accounts to come off your credit report. We use factual dispute method to dispute the accuracy of the reporting on your credit reports. And with that, we find what we do is we dispute it. We get the credit bureau to verify the information, which is exactly what we want. Most people quit when they see the word verified. That's when credit repair begins. We want them to send back the letter that says they verified the account and all the information in it. So with credit repair, we're using the details in the accounts to prove to them that they can't verify the account and that they're inaccurate. And if there are inaccuracies, they have to remove that account from your credit report. So with credit repair, we are making those derogatory accounts come off your credit report. They go away. And of course, your credit score is going to go up. It's like the opposite of what's going to happen with debt relief. And that debt relief is always bad. There are times when it's a good solution, but not always. In fact, credit repair is usually the best way to go, unless you just have open debt, open active credit cards. Credit repair is the way to go. Credit repair, we're using the facts to prove to them that there are inaccuracies in the reporting, and it's unlawful for them to include inaccuracies in the reporting at the credit bureaus, and they have to come off your credit report. Boom, bad. The collection goes away. It goes off your credit report. Your scores start to go up. Occasionally, I will recommend somebody file bankruptcy. It's fairly rare. The results of bankruptcy is quite often very similar to debt relief, because you stop paying everything. Everything goes through the court system. The court gives you some kind of a repayment plan that takes 4, 5, 6 years to pay off. Then the bankruptcy gets discharged, and all these accounts that were discharged through bankruptcy stay on your credit report. They're on there. It'll say Capital One, 0 account. This account was discharged through bankruptcy. Has a devastating effect to your credit report. Bank your credit report for 10 years, not 7. Debt bankruptcy is typically my last recommendation to somebody. It's my recommendation is always going to be, first of all, let a credit repair professional look at your credit reports first, and let them look at it and tell you what they can do. I can tell you, I'm just going to tell you flat out, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to tell lawyers how to be a lawyer, because I'm not a lawyer. But I can also tell you, lawyers don't know about credit. Believe me, they don't know. They know how to file bankruptcies. They know how that works. They know how to negotiate a bankruptcy through the court system. I don't know how to do that because I'm not a bankruptcy attorney. But I'll tell you what I do know how to do. I know how to get derogatory accounts off people's credit reports without going through bankruptcy, and without paying the collections, and without paying a lawyer to do it. Credit repair is always going to be a much more inexpensive process for you than debt relief or bankruptcy, either one. If you have good credit, the debt consolidation loan is a good way to go. So anyway, that is your lesson for Monday, March 8th. It's good to see y'all again. And if you have any questions, call us 888-610-7366, or visit our website, www.citizencreditsolutions.com. And with that being said, as always, peace, love, and good credit. I will see y'all again soon.